Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Thrive Talk, where we are talking about self isolation. So, if you have had to self isolate during this pandemic, during this quarantine, I would love to hear about your experience. I've heard a variety of different experiences, and I've been going through it right now. So, I'm speaking from current experience. And it's been quite a ride. So I'm excited to share with you some of the tips that I've used myself to help me kind of not go crazy. I know some people absolutely love it. They're like, oh my God, I could just be in self isolation forever. And other people are like, I am completely losing my collective ish. So I feel like I'm kind of in between. I've had moments of loving it. I've also had moments of feeling like I'm completely losing it. So there are a few things that I did to help my experience, and I wanted to share those with you in case it may help you. So if you are traveling, if you are visiting family, visiting anyone, and you need to self isolate, I actually came to New Jersey to visit my family. So I am self isolating right now since I had to travel to get here. And today is, I think, day 6. So, a few things that I've done. So, I have 3 tips for you to help you not go crazy and also make this a little bit more of potentially an enjoyable experience for you. So, the first tip I have for you is to make the space yours. Where is it here? Make the space yours, okay? Because let's say you are traveling, right? So you're in an unfamiliar surrounding, an unfamiliar place, and you just may not feel at home. So, how can you make this space yours? How can you make it more homey for yourself? So, for me, I ended up getting a cozy blanket, which just made me feel more comforted. And I also created a little altar for myself, which has all of my crystals, my idols, my Palo Santo, um, a candle, and all of that good stuff. So having that just makes me feel more centered and more grounded, and also makes me feel protected because that is my personal spiritual practice to kind of be able to center and bring myself back. I also move some things around to create a side table for myself. So I had a side table because there wasn't a side table before. So I can put my phone, I can put my, so, and then I also move some things around to just create this, to make it more spacious for myself. So just these few things that I did really helped it create a more homey and cozy experience for myself. So, and if you're at home self quarantining, how can you make your space more cozy and more enjoyable, more homey for yourself? If you're going to be spending a lot of time in there, you want to make it a delightful space for yourself. Do you like beauty? Do you like organization or whatever the things that really align to who you are and what you like? You can set those kind of things up for your space. So I have found this thing to be the most helpful, and it is the first thing I did probably after within 24 hours because I could see myself feeling a little like, what's happening? And just moving some things around made a huge difference for me. So a question I have for you is, what would make this room or space, depending on how much space you have, more homey for me? Okay, so that question is going to help you kind of brainstorm, and maybe it'll be a trial and error process. Maybe you'll try a few things to see what works, what doesn't work. But I found that doing this one thing made my self quarantine experience so much more pleasant. Okay, so however long you're in there, make sure to make the space your own and make sure it feels aligned to who you are. So whether you're traveling, you can unpack your things, put things away, hang some things up. Maybe if you have a photo, you can put a photo up. All those things. Another thing that's been helping me a lot is essential oils. I am a crazy person about essential oils, and I find that it really just helps me calm and relax and center myself. So I actually have some peppermint oil on right now. Who are my peppermint oil fans? It's actually my favorite. Also, lavender. Lavender and peppermint are my favorite oils. All right, so the next one. The next tip I have for you is to direct your mind. There is something about being in closed four walls that can like make you go a little cuckoo. Okay, so it can make you be all up in your head, thinking crazy things, going into all sort of scenarios, going into a negative spin cycle in your head. Um, and even though you may know that this is good and this is important and this is a healthy way to protect yourself and those around you, like intellectually, you might know that, but your body may still be freaking out. Like there's still this psychological effect that can happen, even if you know that this is a good thing and this is the right thing to do, right? You can still have the negative voices in your head and um, things coming up that are really making your stay not pleasant. So, for example, when I was eating my food, I was eating it in a separate room from where my family was sitting. Okay, so this was definitely bringing up some feelings of not feeling included, feeling like an outcast, and all these other things. So, I really had to manage my mind. I had to observe it and manage my mind and direct my mind to where I wanted it to go. So I definitely had some like inner child wounds coming up. Something I definitely didn't expect that to happen, especially because I knew I was going to be doing this when I got here. But there were still things coming up. And since I'm in a separate room on the side of the house, I also started thinking about people who are in terrible situations, especially even right now. I was thinking about, my mind was going into places thinking about people who are in captivity, who are kidnapped, and this is their actual reality, pandemic or not. They are locked in a room, and although I'm not locked in a room, but it was just making me go there, like my mind was going there, and I was like, wow. And like maybe they can only come out for a meal and they have to sit on the side, being kind of outcasted. And this was pretty traumatic when my mind started going there. And of course, in that moment, you can't actually do anything about it. But one, it really gave me some perspective about what some people are going through right this moment. And to help ease my own mind, I sent a prayer and love to them, hoping that, what, they can get out of this situation in some way, somehow, some miracle can free them and they can be in a place where they're not in captivity. So, my mind was going there in all these different places. My inner child wounds were coming up. Then I was thinking about people who are kidnapped and having these kind of experiences. And then I was also thinking about, I was going into my own head about things in my life that I'm not happy with, that aren't going well. And I was going into negative spirals in there too. So I really had to manage my mind. I had to direct my mind to be like, hey, what's going on here? I had to observe and then I had to redirect my mind to a place that would actually help me not go crazy, right? And one question that can help you do that is this is one question that helped me was, how do I want to think about this experience? How do I want to think about this experience? So I was like, I could think about this experience in all these negative ways that is really not helping me mentally, or I could think about it as, oh, this is a great way to protect my family. This is a great way to protect myself. This is the protocol that is to be followed for the highest health for everybody involved. So just reminding myself that, even though I knew that in the back of my head, reminding myself of that definitely helped. And then another thing was like, what do I want to think about this experience? This could be my little bubble hole. I can think about this as being my Airbnb. So I started thinking about it like that. Oh, I'm in an Airbnb for a few weeks or a few days, however long you're staying in self isolation. So that really helped ease my mind, ease my nerves, ease the franticness that I was feeling at times when my mind was going into that negative spiral. All right, now number three is, oh, Hold on. Create your own experience. Okay. So some of you might be working. So if you're working and then going to bed and then waking up and working again and going to bed, it can feel a little crazy. And I was starting to get into that place. I was like, oh my God, I'm just working and then sleeping and then working and sleeping. And I'm just in this room and oh my goodness, you know? And so I decided, all right, how can I create my own experience? What do I want to get out of this? And some things that I really want to do is I want to read more. I want to watch a few shows. I want to write more. And I've been doing this daily walking challenge. So I made sure to continue going outside and walking. And I cannot tell you how much that helped just being outside, being in nature, taking in fresh air from the trees, from the grass, and just being outside, seeing other people from far away as I'm walking, made a huge difference. So, really thinking about it as okay, how can I make this my experience rather than letting the experience control me, right? How can I create the experience that I want? So that is the question for this one. It is, what is the experience that I want to create? So, like I said, for me, I wanted to read more, I wanted to dance more. I'm definitely still working and things like that. But that really opened up my mind and my eyes to the different things I can do and how I can really take ownership of this experience rather than letting this experience dictate how my day goes and how my experience goes. All right, so those are the three tips. I'm going to recap them again, okay? So make the space yours, direct your mind, and create. These are tips that work in general for life. So even if you're not in self isolation, these are great tips to just help you create an experience in your life that is more aligned to who you are, helping you feel more alive and happier. All right, so those are the three tips. Tell me if you have been in self isolation. I want to know what your experience has been. And I would love to hear any tips that you have of how you have made your experience wonderful. And let me know if any of these tips resonate with you and how it goes for you. And the main thing I'm working on right now is really helping people with stress. With it being such a high stress time right now, I'm feeling called to bring forth the stress management tools that I have been working on. And I actually created a brand new stress management tool just this week that I'm so excited to be teaching and rolling out because it works. I've actually been using it on myself. Even when I was traveling, I had some stress come up, and I literally was just using the tool on myself, and it really helped me calm down and calm my nerves and be able to move through that experience. All right, so I'm super excited to bring that to you. If you are interested in stressing less, if you are interested in changing your relationship with stress, if you don't want to let stress rule your life anymore, send me a message. Send me an email, aditi@aditispeaks.com, because I have something special for you. I am going to be taking some people through this new stress management process that I have. And if you're just really tired of the relationship you have with stress and you're ready to change it, then this is for you. Because I know I've come to that place multiple times in my life where I'm like, I just can't live like this anymore. Like, this is just not going to work. I'm literally going to kill myself with stress. And if you have heard my story, I've shared in one of my previous videos on my YouTube channel about how half my face got paralyzed from Bell's palsy, and it was due to stress. So it really just exemplifies how stress can affect you. And I'm really passionate about teaching you the tools that you never learned in school, that you never learned in work. And I want to bring those tools to you now. All right, love you guys so much. Subscribe for more tips, and I'll catch you next time.